Another one of our superstar agents right here from Alethes Realty. This one is the king of the hillbillies. Wade Graham is up on the spotlight next. From the studios of Alethes Realty in beautiful downtown Russellville, we welcome you into the spotlight. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Drew Brent. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, give us a call today. It's 479-968-5668 or cruise on over to russellvilleliving.com. One of those great agents is Wade Graham as we continue into Alethes week. What's up, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
The last time you and I tried to do this was, people who are watching don't know, but it was like cobbled together in about 6 minutes.
Spur of the moment.
Because I had a guest cancel. We did the show live back then.
Yep.
And we had a guest cancel. I was like, come talk for 15 minutes. It was a pretty good show.
Yeah, and I had the same exact lunch as I had then as I had today.
What'd you have today?
The taco truck.
The taco truck.
Go-to.
So it's your go-to before you decide to be on camera?
It's my go-to on Fridays.
It's
every other Friday.
So I guess we had to have shot that on a Friday then.
Yep.
All right, outstanding. I mentioned that you were the king of the hillbillies. It's not a slight. It is, however, an allusion to the fact that you are somewhat of a superstar up in Ozark and the western part of the state. Tell me how that happened.
I'm born and raised there. All of my family is born and raised there as well. And I played all sports there, baseball, basketball, ran track. So I just know a lot of people in the area and, grown fond of a lot of people, and that's what I call home. I still visit all the time, and it's really not a far drive, so I go visit family and go down to Ozark quite a bit.
When did you graduate from Ozark?
2011.
Okay, so 10 years ago.
Yep. I already had my class reunion too. That was weird.
What was that like?
Well, we went to a game, the Hillbilly game. I hadn't been to one since my little brother graduated, so that was nice. And then a bunch of people met up at, I can't remember what the restaurant was called there in town, but the next day it was good to see some people. A lot of people I graduated with I still keep in contact with, so it wasn't like new faces all the time, but there was a lot of people it was nice to see again.
Now, you and I've talked a little bit of smack.
Yep.
And the reason we talk some smack is because you're an Ozark guy. I'm the radio voice of the Sand Lizards. And when the football teams met this year, didn't necessarily go my way.
No, but that's normal. You should be used to that by now.
See, there it is again, and you're right. I am fairly used to that when we were playing Ozark. Here was the thing that I mentioned on the broadcast, and I wanted to bring it up here again.
Okay.
The mascot for the Ozark Hillbillies is a guy,
Correct,
who just shoots a firearm into the air randomly.
Not just a guy. It's Brother Ted. He is the hillbilly.
Okay, so talk to me about Brother Ted.
So he was the pastor at First Baptist Church for no telling how long. Probably longer than I've been alive. I know he married my parents in the church, and then my sister and her husband got married there too, and Brother Ted did it as well. But he's just always been involved in the community, and inside of Franklin County is where he's allowed to shoot the gun. Now, other places, they're not too fond of it, I guess because they don't like hearing us every time we score, which they hear it a lot, so he doesn't like hearing the guns go off all the time.
Oh, my goodness, this guy. Hey, Ozark's not moving up to 5A.
No.
Dardanelle is moving up to 5A.
Really?
Yes, that's happening next year. We're playing
Good luck.
Farmington, Alma, and I think we might even we get Pea Ridge or Prairie Grove.
Well, see, that was a lot of Ozark's competition when I was in high school. All those teams were in our conference, so we played them every other week.
You've been in real estate how long now?
Been a little over 2 years.
How did you get started?
So I used to work at a furniture store here in town after I graduated at Tech. I was there. I was assistant manager. It was a good job. I liked it. My sister bought a house from Brad. And so, after that, I asked her, I'm like, I probably need to get me a place. I'm tired of renting here in town because I figured I was going to be here for a while. After talking to Brad, and, I rode around with him, we got along really well. and found a house, bought it, moved in. About a year later, things just started kind of getting a little shaky with where I was working. They started changing up things like how we were getting paid, and I just felt like it was time to go. Well, I'm sitting there at the dinner table with my girlfriend talking and telling her about all the new changes at work, and then I get this message from Brad. And it's a big, long message saying, hey, man, I know we got along. It's been a year now. We got along really, really well back then, and this is something I think you'd be really good at. I think you should come in. And so, it was kind of like a, light bulb moment. I was like, here I am sitting here talking to my girlfriend about how I'm ready to find a new job and do something different. And then I got that text from him. So I was like, yeah, this is a sign for sure. So I meet with him, and I come back in and meet everybody here, and it just felt like a family, and it felt like something that, I could start doing, and I could start being successful at it immediately, just because of the way that things are set up here, and how just far ahead of the game we are.
That's one thing that every single person I've talked to this week has said, and even I've said it, is the first time you come in here, it felt like a family. That's not something we're just saying.
Right.
It feels like you are part of something.
Right.
Can you describe that?
You're a vital part of something. When you're at the table, your voice is heard, and Brent and Brad and everyone, when they have something that they need help with or they want suggestions, it's not like you're just bouncing it off the wall. Like, they're actually sitting in there, they're listening to what you have to say. And that was even before I even started working here, was something, they were asking me questions, and I was like, okay, well, I feel like I'm valued here. My input means something. And so that was a big thing for me.
I started here January the 4th.
Yep.
Coming up on a year next month, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
it's been that long
fast,
already. Yeah, it has been fast. Talk about the changes that you've seen in this building in just 12 months.
Well, I mean, how long do we have?
Yeah, right.
It's just from when I started 2 years ago from where we're at now, it's an astronomical difference. We still have the same core values, and we're still just as more successful than we were then. We've just got a lot more things going for us. So I feel like our name's gotten out there a lot more, and people know who we are and what we stand for, and what we can do for them.
This is different.
Absolutely.
This was not here a year ago.
No, this was just a dream and something that was talked about.
Right.
And once you got in here, we hit the ground running with it.
It's funny because that first day that I was here, kind of where we're sitting right now, I set up a green screen in one of the Sony cameras that we had.
Yep.
And people were walking by the office going, oh my gosh,
Yep.
I can't believe it. Here's a green screen. And now we've got a
whole
4K
studio.
TV studio in here, and it's a
Yep.
little, we've had people in here that they get a little intimidated.
Yep.
When you started to see this part of it come together, were you saying, what are we doing? Or, I mean, what was your initial reaction?
When I went to tech, I had I graduated with a marketing management degree. So, one of the things with working here is you'd run into people and they couldn't say our name. They couldn't pronounce it.
Yeah.
That's gone. That factor's gone. People know who we are, and people see our stuff all the time now. And that was one of the biggest things that you said when we came in. That's what we're going to change, and that's what we did. And when I talk to people on the phone, talk to people out and about, they know who we are and what we do now. And I think that's been one of the biggest things. And it's not been just an overnight thing. It's been constant work that we put in and day out, not only in the recording studio and marketing team, but us agents as well, because you have to take care of your people and your clients, to have them reciprocate that kind of stuff, and to spread the word about how good we treat people and how well we can do business for them.
One thing I have said over and over again as we've been doing these interviews this week is the folks at home need to know that it's not lip service when I say that the agents care. I mean, I've seen legitimate tears shed when deals don't work or when things don't happen for clients. How pivotal is it that you care?
Man, there's been times I will be asleep 3 or 4 in the morning and wake up in the middle of the night and think, did I do this on the contract right, or did I, just random things like that. Of just, I'm always thinking about my people and putting their interests first, whether it's finding their first house or selling their home, or even moving up to something bigger for their family. So it's just something that's always in the back of my mind, making sure that they're taken care of first, because it's their biggest investment in their life is buying their home. So it's got to be someone that you trust, and it's got to be someone that's going to take care of you and put your interests first.
Take me back about, let's say, how old are you now, Wade?
28.
28. Let's go back to 15-year-old 15-year-old Wade.
Okay.
Is 15-year-old Wade surprised at what you're doing right now?
No, I'm not. I've always been one to say myself as a go-getter. And just even growing up and being as a kid, I've always found that people tend to gravitate towards me in a way of like a leadership role or a role where they, respond to what I'm saying or listen to me in a way. And I don't know, I've always just conducted myself in that way. And I feel like that really rolls over to something like this and in this job.
Well, we're talking to Wade Graham right now. Hey, when we come back, Wade's a sports fan. He's a Razorback sports fan, too. We're going to find out just how much he knows right after this. More on the Spotlight coming your way.
We see you. Your incredible potential and willpower set you apart. You're first to take that leap of faith. First to get to work. First to solve the problem. No burden should be carried alone. We'll be there. Every step, day, challenge. First is your destiny. We get it because first is who we are.
We welcome you back into the Spotlight right here on Alethes this week. If you're in the market to buy or sell your home, hey, give us a call today, 479-968-5668, or cruise on over to russellvilleliving.com. You might even get the opportunity to talk to this man right here, Wade Graham. Okay, you and I get to talk sports quite a bit because we're great sports fans. Before I came back to Russellville, I worked in Fayetteville for ESPN 99.5, and I covered the Hogs for a long time. You're a big-time Hogs fan.
Yep.
So here's the question. As we record this, now, not when this airs, but as we record this, the Arkansas Razorback basketball team is ranked 10th in the country.
Correct.
Here's the question. Should they be?
I want to say yes. And I know you might have concerns otherwise. We're a work in progress. The team is completely different from last year. I mean, there's there's two guys that are coming back. Maybe
Right.
one if you want to, because Note was coming off the bench.
Right.
So we have the right guy as coach, and it shows every time we come in the first half, things look sloppy, things look like we're not in control. And then whatever he does or says or changes in the locker room at halftime, it works.
Every time.
Every time.
Do the Razorbacks have the best coaching trio as far as the big three sports in the SEC right now?
Yes, without a doubt. I'm still, and people might get mad about this, I'm still a little undecided. And I'm not saying I'm fully undecided on Pittman because we've got to see what he brings in with his recruits. Because if we lose Treylon Burks, we lose the offense. I know KJ's been playing well, and he's doing better than anybody expected, but without that guy, it's night and day difference in the offense.
Well, and he's leaving.
He is gone, and
he's the
deserves
first
it.
receiver off the board. We know that that's going away.
Yep.
So, okay, that's fair, but Pittman's reputation is to be a recruiter, Wade.
The culture's there, and he's changed. The interest is back. The stadium's full. People, they've always cared about Arkansas football, but now it's like we have something to care about again.
How long have you been a fan of Razorback football?
Since I've been born, you don't really get a choice when
Right.
you grow up in Arkansas. That's it. And been through the dark days the last few years, so it's good to see the success. Baseball, we've got the best coach in the whole country. He just needs to win a national championship.
Just to solidify it.
Yep.
Yeah. What are your brightest moments of Razorback sports, either in person? What do you remember about?
probably one of the best personal memories was when in football, we beat LSU at home, shut them out on the boot, and then the next week we beat Missouri at home as well. That was back-to-back. But I was there when we beat LSU and got to storm the field, so that was kind of cool. Everyone was kind of hesitant at the time, and this was still during the Bielema days. And I remember this old man, he was on a walker up front in front of everybody, and everyone's looking around like, are we fixing to storm the field? Are we doing it? And this guy looks at everybody and he's like, screw it. We're going, I'll pay the fine. And after that, everybody in the whole stands was like, yes. And they helped this old man get over the rail and onto the field. And then, the wave came after that. So that's something I'll remember forever.
The guy on the walker was the guy who led the charge.
Yep, absolutely.
When you talk about memories as far as sports go, it's one of those things that you do with your family. Was your family always big sports fans too? Or?
Yep. Now, we, growing up in Ozark, we're a little bit of a drive away from going up to the games and watching them. So, through high school, I went to the games because of that FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We'd always go to a game then. Every year was kind of included with the Deuce with it. But, we were always watching it on Saturday. Always been a big baseball fan. And we've been dominant in that forever, as long as I can remember. Not to the level that we are now, but the program is building, and now what we have is incredible. If anyone who knows anything about college baseball or wants to play college baseball, they know about the Razorbacks.
Quite the outdoorsman as well.
Correct.
Hunt?
Yep, hunt, fish.
What do you hunt?
I like to do a lot of rabbit hunting. I've got 2 beagles. We do that a lot. Of course, my favorite's probably turkey hunting. I'll probably go to 5 states to turkey hunt during that time of the year. I'm a little hard to reach during April, but I still get things taken care of. I like to deer hunt too, just like anybody else. Now, that's just something that I grew up doing just because it's something to do during that time, and I like to eat them.
Right.
But if I had to pick one, it would be turkey hunting. That's my passion.
Now, didn't you go off somewhere here recently for a hunt? Weren't you gone recently?
Yeah. Last year I went to Tennessee. Not Tennessee. I went to Louisiana. I went to Kansas, Missouri, and then Oklahoma. So I made my rounds during the spring.
Any major game that you've ever done? Anything crazy?
No, I wouldn't say anything like, I usually just stick to the basics on those.
What's the dream hunt?
It would probably be to go down to Mexico and hunt those the Rio turkeys with the real pretty. They're all sorts of different colors. They're like blue, purple, green, all that kind of stuff.
What's the affinity for turkey hunting?
To me, it's the calling. You don't just sit there and wait. Anybody can kill a deer. Anyone can sit there and wait on a deer to come out and shoot them. You can do anything. But to kill a turkey, you have to be smarter than them. You have to, and it's an animal that can see you blink at 100 yards.
Right.
And you have to get them within 40 yards with a shotgun. But just the aspect of talking to them, you have to use the calls to lure them in, to get them close. It's just a different dynamic, I think, and that's what really kind of separates someone who turkey hunts from someone just who, deer hunts.
One of the things that I was told about you when I first got here was Wade has a lot of hobbies.
Yeah.
What are the rest of your hobbies?
Well, I like to fish too, and just anything outdoors. I'm always doing something outside. There's probably not a day that goes by that I'm not messing with something outside or doing different things. And I've got friends all over that like to do different stuff too. So I like to trout fish, pretty much any kind of fishing around here. And of course, sports, that takes you all over the place doing that kind of stuff too. I like to ski, so I usually go probably once or twice a year out to Colorado or Utah. And then I also went out to Montana this last year, and that's probably one of the prettiest places I've ever been.
Any good at skiing?
I am pretty good. I would say I'm pretty good. Now, I taught myself, so the first few times I went, not so great. Me and a buddy went, and there was probably 4 of us that went, and me and him were the only ones that stuck it out. The other 2 got hurt the first day, and then it was like,
of course.
It's like, how do we do this? We didn't want to pay for someone to teach us, so it was like 2 days worth of me falling and falling and falling, and then we finally got it. But kind of a funny story with that, the first time I ever went skiing, we skied the first day, thought we could do it, thought we were good at what we were doing, and then we went up the wrong lift, and we went up to some blacks and some double blacks and black diamonds on accident. And the way it looked, there was a lift, you went up the little hill, And you're like, okay, we're going to stop right there and come down. Well, once we got on the lift and we went over that hill, we saw that the lift kept going. And so we rode up this mountain another 40 minutes. And we'd been skiing for maybe 5-6 hours altogether. We knew enough to pizza and how to slow down, and that was about it. So once we got to the top, we met some people up there because we were asking questions like, man, how are we going to get down this mountain? And so they said, here, just follow us. Well, 2 minutes into the ski down the black to stay on the green part, I get separated from my friend who gets separated from the people who are supposed to lead us. So for the next 3.5 hours, I fell down a mountain continually, tumbling. And at one point, I was sitting on my skis like a sled and would slide down, tumble, and get back on it. Well, I had the ski patrol come up to me probably 3 or 4 different times because they watched me for 2 hours stumble down the hill. And I was like, you know what? I got myself into this mess. I got to get myself out of it. So I finally made it back down and called my buddy, and he did the same exact thing. And then after that, we kind of took a day off. And
Yeah, I imagine.
came back the next day and went back to the greens and the bunny slopes.
I've got a small bone to pick with you.
Okay.
Great bean debate. We had that about a month ago.
Yep.
You and Brad had a tremendous debate. And you won, in my opinion. The beans won. Everybody said that the beans won, so nice job on that.
Yep.
But at one point during that debate, you said that you thought your chili was better than mine,
Correct.
having never had my chili.
Correct.
What makes your chili so much better than mine?
Love.
What? You don't think I make my chili with love? No. What's the difference? Come on. Tell me, what's the difference here?
Mine, with my chili, it's not ready in an hour kind of deal. Mine takes at least 2 days to get the whole process. So there's steps, and you can make it and throw it together in a couple of hours and heat it up and call it chili. But that's what makes the difference is the time and the effort.
Now, I'll give you that. My chili, the way that I cook chili, if I'm really cooking chili, it's a 2-day process as well.
Okay.
2 different kinds of meats,
Yep.
3 different kinds of beans, and a blend of spices that no Ozark Hillbilly could ever even dream up. So I need you.
I don't even remember what I put in mine. Mine's like you can almost blindfold me and I can start throwing stuff in there, but it works every time.
So you don't know what's in your chili. You don't even have any idea.
Oh, I know what's in it.
You're just
I know
grabbing stuff.
I don't know the proportions. I just mix it up till it feels right.
That's okay. All right. Yeah, your chili is better than mine. Final question here. Why or what do the people of Russellville need to know about working with you and working with Alethes?
Working with me and working with Alethes is we're going to put your needs first and your interests first. We're not going to get you locked in or tied into something that you don't feel comfortable about. And even if it takes 1 showing or it takes 40 showings to find the right house for you, we're going to find the right place. We're not going to push you. We're not going to rush you to make a rash decision on something that's very, very important. And we want you to find the house that you and your family's going to love and that you're going to enjoy.
All right. Wade Graham, that's the spotlight, brother. Thanks very much for doing this,
Yeah,
man.
no problem. I enjoyed it.
All right. And thank you guys for joining us today here on the Spotlight. Remember, if you're in the market to buy or sell your home, give us a call today. It's 479-968-5668. Maybe you even get to talk to Wade. We'll see you right back here next time.